Hey guys, it's your boy HarryWilmington here. Welcome to the Introvert Dating Success Show. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about some examples of signs that women will give to you that will indicate that she's ready to advance to the next level of various parts of your dating/relationship life together. And I want to put this out to you guys because I know there are guys out there that have the problem of constantly rushing in or trying to make her the girlfriend too soon, or trying to put out these steps that in your head you're thinking, well, you're already ready for them. And because you're ready for them, you're projecting onto her that she should also be ready for them. And then you make moves that are too quick and she starts getting flustered. She starts feeling that things are going too fast, too soon. She's starting to feel forced into a relationship, and then she breaks up with you. And I think as men, we do this because we are not always aware of the fact that, well, let's even go back further to like, as men, oftentimes, we don't ever get a chance to allow ourselves to get to a place with a woman where we get to actually see the kind of signals she'll throw out there that indicate to us that she's actually ready for a step. So for example, you might be dating a girl for like a month and wondering, crap, we're not boyfriend or girlfriend yet. I got to bring something up. And in the process of that, you don't allow yourself the time and patience to see what kinds of things she would actually do that would let you know unequivocally that she's ready to take that step, okay? And as a guy that's been dating for quite a while now, I have been privy to learning how to apply patience to my dating game. And as a result of that, I've been able to see the types of things that women do and say and act on that let me know, hey, oh crap, they're actually ready to have this conversation. They're ready to move to this next step of our relationship. And so you will not be a guy that is lost out there. I'm gonna give you some of those things today so you can be assured when you're dating a woman about where she is in her journey with you, and so you will not rush accidentally into a step that she's not quite ready for. As always, for more of these shows, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can check out the podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever podcasts are found. And also go to my website now. If you join my video newsletter, you can get free access to my best-selling book, No Girls For You, The Ultimate Guide to Losing the Girl of Your Dreams, both in ebook form and audiobook form. Just go to the website, fill out your name and your email address, and you'll have instant access to this dynamic 150-page book that'll teach you all about what not to do when you're trying to date, all right? Also, if you guys have any questions you want answered on one of these shows, you can write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, either subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/HarryWilmington or send a cash app at $HarryWilmington. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what are some of the signs that women signal that indicate that they're ready to go to the next step? What I'm going to do for you is go through a few examples of things that are important next steps and how to tell when a woman's ready for that step, all right? So here's one of the early ones, all right? One of the things that I've taught you guys time and time again is that you do not want to be accepting or suggesting weekend dates when you first start dating. Your Fridays and your Saturdays are no-no days because those are days that a woman leaves open for people that she already knows and that she has an established relationship with. And early on, if you suggest those days, what can happen in a woman's brain is she's gonna feel as though that it's too rushed because those are days for people that she already knows and she doesn't quite yet know you. Now it's making it feel like she's forced into choosing you over people that she's been hanging out with for years or family members and stuff like that. So early on, you don't want to suggest Friday and Saturday days. At the point where she is starting to feel as though you are a more important presence in her life, then she will actually come to you and start suggesting Fridays or Saturdays as date days. And so this is why you need to keep it early on to your weekdays, your Sundays through Thursdays, because her suggesting to you a day outside of those days, i.e. a weekend, will give you a strong indicator that her feelings for you are starting to grow. And so that's all you do. Just keep your dates to Sunday through Thursday. At some point, she will come to you and say, hey, so either she'll say like, I noticed you haven't gone on any weekend dates, or she'll say something like, hey, so, I know we go out during the weekday, but there's this movie coming out on Friday I want to see, or there's this event happening on Saturday that I'd love to take you to, all right? It may seem like nothing to you, but her asking you for that weekend day date is humongous in terms of her heightened attraction to you, okay? So this is why Keep it to for your first few dates, keep it to Sunday through Thursday if you can. Obviously, there's going to be exceptions. If you're dating a woman that has like a really busy work week, like lawyers, doctors, etc., then they might only go out on weekends. But for you guys that are able to do weeknight dates, Sunday through Thursday, keep it to those days and do not ask her out on Fridays or Saturdays. When she's ready, she will let you know. All right? So that's the first thing. Another example, men oftentimes wonder after like 5 or 6 good dates, what's going on? Does she want to be in a relationship? And I tell you guys all the time, even if a woman is constantly saying yes to dates and she's even slept with you or whatever, on average, it takes a woman 2 to 3 months to solidify her feelings for you. Any time that you bring up the idea of being in a relationship before that's happened, more often than not, either A, she's going to say yes, but she actually felt forced to do it, so it's going to burn out really, really quickly, or B, she's going to feel like he's already found out all about me. He's already thinking that he knows me very, very well, but I don't feel that way. I feel this is now forced, or I feel bad because my feelings aren't there yet. So now I'm going to dump him. Okay. And you always want to make sure that a woman's feelings for you are at the place where she's ready to make the step of being your girlfriend before you have that conversation. And I found that the best way to do that, wait for it, the best way to do that is to wait for her to bring up the relationship conversation. Now you may be asking yourself, but Harry, if I'm dating her, it's been 2 months, and why can't I just call it a relationship? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you want to be right, or do you want to make sure she's comfortable enough to want to have that conversation? Because as guys, the reality is we are assessing women at a very rapid pace. Basically, if a woman's nice to us, looks pretty, and has a decent conversation with us, and if she's good in bed, we're usually already set to go, case closed. But as I discussed before, women have a lot more things to look out for. They've had guys that they've dated in the past that they rushed into relationships with too soon, and that guy ended up being a sleazeball, ended up getting her pregnant and leaving, doing a bunch of horrific things that she did not know about because she didn't do her due diligence. So especially as women get older, they're going to, for any new guy that they date, they're probably going to want to do a little bit more due diligence. And even if, let's say by day 5, she already knows that she wants to be with you, okay? Logically, she might recognize that, but the feeling side of her, the emotional side of her might still need time to really assess if she can trust you. She needs time to really see if you're a man of your word, if the things that you say you're going to do are things that you actually do. She needs to see how you treat other people, how you talk about other people, how you talk to your family and friends and relatives and stuff like that. And so these things, as she's able to observe them and get validity to what she's looking at, only help to solidify her feelings for you. And that usually takes 2 to 3 months, sometimes 4 months, okay? So here's what I tell you guys, is that while this is happening, you don't need to be in a rush to get into a relationship, okay? Because as long as she's saying yes to dates, and as long as she's going out with you, and as long as you guys are having a good rapport, then you're good. You don't need to have this fear that she's going to see some other guy or want to talk to other people, because as long as she's saying yes to dates with you, you are good. And so in terms of the relationship conversation, at the point where she feels like she really desires you and she's comfortable with you, what's going to also happen is she's going to start to see you as a rarity, and because she doesn't have this kind of connection with guys that often. And so what's also going to happen is she's not going to want to let that go. And because she's not going to want to let you go, in her head, the only way that's going to happen is if she's able to get a title with you of some kind, which means she's going to have to come to you and start asking you those questions like, what are we? Where's this going? Are you seeing anybody else? Or even saying, hey, so we've been dating for 3 months. Like, what do you think about being in a relationship and having some titles to this thing? Okay. And so the way that you'll be able to tell that a woman wants to get into a relationship with you is very simple, is she will come to you and start asking the questions I just discussed. Okay. At the point that she comes to you with that, there obviously can be no doubt in your mind at this point of whether or not she wants to get in a relationship, because she's coming to you asking about a relationship. All right. You lose no points if you just shut up, relax, enjoy the time you're having with her, and wait for her to come to you and ask about a relationship. All right. But you don't get to do that if you're trying to ask her out a month in. So we've been dating for we've been on 5 great dates. So like, are you seeing anybody else? And so blah, blah, blah. Like, that makes you look weak. It makes you look like you have no other prospects out there. And it makes you look like you're trying to really lock her down because she's the only thing you have going on right now. And that should never be the case. Okay. So let her be the one to come to you. And I know it seems tough because if you guys haven't waited long enough, you haven't experienced this, but I'm telling you, I have dated many women, and without a doubt, by the second and a half to third month of dating, all of them will come to me and say, hey, we've been doing this for a while, so, what are we doing? What are we? Yada, 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 yada. So at this point, I know going into any new dating situation that I don't have to ask, because all I got to do is look for the signal, which is that she's going to come to me, all right? And then final example of this is at what point you're in a relationship, it's been going good, you've been dating for a year and a half now, at what point do you start talking marriage? Well, a lot of men have been trained wrongfully to believe that at some point you need to start bringing up the topic and discussing it with her and saying, well, we've been dating for this long now and I'm really seeing a future with you and so blah, blah, blah. And honestly, it's the same signal that you wait for when she's ready to have a title of boyfriend or girlfriend, is that you wait for the woman to come to you and start asking you about long-term prospects. Now, you might think to yourself, Harry, that sounds asinine, because doesn't the woman want the guy to come to her and ask her for her hand in marriage and do the whole proposal thing? And so, well, how is it going to be romantic if she's coming to the guy? I didn't say you wait for her to come to you and propose. I said you wait for her to come to you and start asking about marriage. Specifically, they'll come to you and say something like, so we've been dating for a while, so where do you see this thing going? And, at what point do you want to start living together? And so, I see a future with you. What could that possibly look like? Like, women will throw out things like that. So she's not outright saying, hey, I want to marry you, but she will definitely hint in a very hard level, a very non-passive level, that, hey, I want to build a future. What does that look like for you? Does that include me in it? And if so, what does that next step mean? Okay. Now, until a woman comes to you and starts saying those kind of things, you should not be bringing up marriage at all. Anything involving evolutionary steps in your relationship in terms of the level of seriousness should always come from her, because you as a guy are typically already ready at any given time. But if she's not at that step, then it's not going to work out. And of the two of you, she needs to be the one to display that she's more ready, because more often than not, you're probably already thinking on that level, but she needs to have enough comfort with you, enough time with you, enough spent time together to really see, this guy could actually be my future long term, at which point she will start wanting those things more and more, to where she will not be able to help herself but bring it to your attention, okay? Now, let's say you've been dating a girl for 4 or 5 years and she hadn't brought it up. This is the point where you want to really start seriously thinking about, okay, like, she hasn't brought it up yet, and does this mean that she's cool just being boyfriend or girlfriend? What's the deal? But I have found, on average, most women at some point will want to have a conversation about what the future looks like to you both, whether it's you guys are getting married, whether it's just a long-term partnership, whatever. But regardless, a woman's going to want to bring it to your attention, because she honestly on her end has her girlfriends and her family asking her these questions. Hey, so you guys been dating for a while. What's going on? I want grandbabies. You're going to be part of the family. What's going on? And so she's going to be getting pressure from everybody else. The last person she needs to get pressure from is you. And actually, you not bringing the pressure to her will make her start to think, he's not pressuring me. Does he want this as much as I do? You know what? I need to make that a conversation. So again, even in that way, you don't have to be the one to bring it up, okay? Ultimately, women that like you are going to help you. Women that want to be with you and see you as the prize and really can see themselves in the long-term future with you are going to be asking those questions. They're going to be asking you for weekend dates. They're going to be asking you, hey, can I have a title and be your girlfriend? They're going to be asking you, hey, what's our future look like? Is it possible that we're going to be walking down the aisle together? They will bring this to your attention, but only if you are able to sit back confidently and be patient and recognize that if you're doing your part, if you're doing the actions that show her that you love her and that you care for her and that you're a stand-up guy and that you're worth being trusted and that you are actually being willing to be a give and take in this relationship with her, then women will not be able to help themselves but to come to you and want to have a discussion of some kind about her being in your long-term future. Now, you may have been a guy that hasn't had that experience yet, because you may have been the guy that has been the one that's been anxious about dating and trying to rush into relationships, trying to see women every single day of the week, trying to constantly text her all the time, trying to, in the course of you being anxious and nervous, asking women, hey, so how do you feel about me? And are you seeing and all these sort of things that are causing you to lose women, which, by the way, I talk about in my best-selling ebook, No Girls For You, The Ultimate Guide to Losing the Girl of Your Dreams, which you can get for free right now at the website by signing up for my newsletter. You can also buy it at the website. But yeah, if you've been having those kind of questions and you don't know how to get past that so you can become the guy you need to be to actually keep these things going long term, go to the website, introvertdatingsuccess.com. Sign up for one-on-one coaching. Check out my various programs that are there also that are designed to help you learn how to get out of your way and date as the authentic introvert that you truly are while still being able to get the woman and get your alone time, all right? Also, like I said, if you want me to answer one of your questions on one of these shows, you can write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. If you want to support the show, become a subscriber on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/HarryWilmington. And also for you to send me a cash app at $HarryWilmington. Every amount helps, and it's a great way to show support and say, Harry, you're doing a great job of all this information you're putting out, all right? That's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace.